That's a good, even more weird than normal. We should be back live. I'm going to quickly just double check. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry about that. It seemed to an internet issue at my end. I assume it was my end anyway. But it looks like we are live and all good for the moment. I'm chilling in the Discord if anyone wants to jump in. Welcome to the Game Week 35 preview. Steve-O's had an absolute stormer of a game week with Haaland triple captain. We'll touch upon that shortly. It's been a while since I've loaded up the settings with everything up, so I might have to twink, is that the word? Tinker with some of the settings whilst you talk to the community. We'll wait for people to come back into the live chat. Hello everyone. Sorry for the if you're just joining us now. Sorry for the interruption. But Steve-O, how you're above me now? You must be feeling confident that you've got a decent points gap to see you through to the end of the season now. Have you got any chips left? Remind me. If you used all of them now?
All chips are now gone, vanished. And now it's down to transfers and what ones I want to be.
There's not enough differentials, in my opinion, in between our teams that I think are enough to capture the points that you've gained on me now. So really the only, this is my opinion, and I'm just genuine now. I don't think there's an easy way for me to capture those points. I think it's a
30-point gap between me and you, isn't it?
It's catchable. But only if, in my opinion, only if we had, 6 or 7 differential players.
Well, let's look at the differentials. You've got Trippier, Stones, White, Gakpo, Isaac, Mings, Gnotto, Pickford. That's 10 or 9, wherever it works out to be.
Say again, how many have we got?
You got Trippier, Stones, Ben White, Isaac, Mings, Gnotto, Pickford. So that's 7 differentials.
7? I don't know. I don't think it's enough, man. I don't think it's enough. I mean, you could say it's sort of like a psychological thing, like just trying to, I've got nothing to lose really. I might just go hell for leather and just go a bit crazy when it comes to picking my captains for the next game weeks. I mean, people are going to be going Haaland against Leeds at home. Bit of a no-brainer. Is it a no-brainer, Steve-O?
I'm waiting on team news.
What is going
on for that game? Because if I get word that Haaland is going to be benched, which there's about a 5% chance of that happening.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's going to take the Real Madrid game very seriously. He's not messing about with that. Leeds and the Everton game are very, very, very hard to call regarding the picks that Guardiola will be doing. Grealish, I think, is going to be benched against Leeds. And yeah, there's not that much of a turnaround either with the games. So Kevin De Bruyne has been, he's basically been said that he's basically fit, but that basically means 20, 30 minutes if you're lucky coming off the bench. He ain't going to be starting at all that game. Because he's not going to throw him in at the deep end against Real Madrid, is he? But you can't sell him. You cannot sell De Bruyne yet. You've got to risk it for the Leeds game. It's more for me about Grealish if I'm really interested in keeping him. But I'm personally just...
Well, let me get your team up on the screen. Whilst let's just quickly talk about your team. Okay. Let's get you up on the screen. Give me a second. I'm a bit slow in my old age. Wow, you're second now in Torbay Elite. Are you thinking that you can catch it?
Mate, I'm fucking going for it. I want to win the moderator.
Was that 38 points? 38 points. You catch that? You can catch that.
And bearing in mind, last night, if it wasn't for that last second handball,
oh my god! Can we just talk about it? Can we talk about that?
Yes, please do. Did you watch it?
Luke Shaw, right? Yeah, I did watch it. Of course I watched it. I did. I was going to stream it, to be honest. I didn't have the energy. Do you know, sometimes when you just feel drained after the day. 8 o'clock comes along, and I just think, should I stream this game? You know what? Do you know what? I ended up thinking, I want to enjoy this game. If I stream it, it's going to be a massive disappointment. I'm glad I didn't, because it would have been a massive disappointment. Luke Shaw, yeah, he made a mistake at the end. He handballed it. He shouldn't have had his arms where they were. But do you know what? He had a quality game. If you watch the game, Luke Shaw had an absolute brilliant game alongside Victor Lindelof. I think their pairing is the next best, obviously, compared, sorry, I'm just reading something. And hello, everyone in the chat. How are you doing? Yeah, I think it was gutting, to be honest. It was absolutely. I lost my train of thought then. It's again looking at your team. Luke Shaw. Could have easily got a clean sheet with Dallo that yesterday.
Well, last night, the way it was,
they deserved a clean sheet. They defended so well. It was really cruel that at the end, the penalty was obviously awarded. It was a rightful penalty, but ultimately, Brighton showed a lot more fight in the game. There was no clinical finishing from United was non-existent. Bruno Fernandes is knackered. He's been playing way too many games. He obviously had to track back and defend more than attack. Anthony was poor. Rashford was poor. Martial was poor. Fred was poor. Casemiro was lucky not to get sent off, to be honest. But I think ultimately Brighton deserved the win. I hate to say it, but they looked more of a threat in the game, and the penalty was right. I mean, you cut no complaints about the penalty. It's gutting though, because Shaw put in such a good man of the match performance for me. Luke Shaw, absolutely brilliant. He's refound himself as a centre back. Like he is really good as a centre back. So it is frustrating. We've still got it in our hands to finish in the top 4. We've got the game in hand. Hopefully we can kick on, and we've got the weekend's fixtures to look forward. West Ham away is no easy fixture. I know that Man City got a result against them, but that's Man City. I mean, our away form is awful. And the question I'm going to ask you is: you've got double Man United going into that away game. West Ham. Are you confident? Are you going to play both of them, or?
Yeah, I have to.
Yeah.
I've got no Gabriel's in. He's not playing against Newcastle, so I have to. I was playing them both anyway, because I think that game is going to be 0-0, 1-1, 1-0 either way, something like that. Hopefully in the favour of Man United 1-0, but because West Ham can't score, Man United can defend. But like I said, I have to. This team that I've got up on screen, I have to play this week. Have to, essentially, because I've got no subs. I've got nothing whatsoever. It's pretty tragic, and that's why catching.
Who are you going to bench? Who are you going to bench this week?
Well, like I said, it's Gabriel, Perraud, and whoever the other one is, Greenwood.
You confident De Bruyne will play?
I think he gets between 30, a minimum of 30, a maximum of 30 minutes. Maximum. That's it. Nothing more than that.
Cool. Question is, are you taking callers? Yes, Nuclear Atoms, we are taking callers today on Discord. If you want to get yourself on the show today, ask a question, talk about your team going into this game week. We are literally got 3 more game weeks, Steve-O, and it's all over. It's mental how fast the season's come. But if you want to talk to us, get yourself in the Discord in the waiting room. We'll pull you in very shortly. We're going to be doing score predictions. We're going to be doing a bit of the history. Hopefully speak to a few of you guys. It's been a while since me and Steve-O back together again. It's kind of weird, Steve-O. It's kind of weird being back in this sort of dynamic. But I do think it's the best format for the show, having both of us together. What is that on your wall?
This here.
It's Elite FPL badge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the poster I talked about. Tyler created it. Remember?
Did you print it off?
No, he sent it to me in the post.
Oh, I thought he sent it you digitally. I'm so bad.
He's gone again.
Then what? What's it on?
So I keep pressing that. I'm so used to going on OBS that I'm constantly going on OBS. Rather
Don't hit your laptop, Steve-O. Do not hit your laptop. It's affecting the quality of your image.
I know it is.
Don't worry. I can see the top half. The bottom half looks like you're in the Matrix, but the top half I can still see. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah, I see it. I
can't zoom in. Can't zoom in.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Members got a packaging reveal for that.
Yeah. Wow.
Very kind. Very kind.
Yeah.
No, let's, in all seriousness, let's get back to the mini leagues for a second, because I do want to talk about it because it does fascinate me. And the fact that I'm trying to think, our man Dylan, who's got bench boost left.
What is going on there with your camera?
It's probably because it's just catching up with OBS.
Maybe.
But I believe our man Dylan's got bench boost left. And the answer is yeah. He's got his bench boost left. Which,
where are we talking about now? Sorry?
Our man Dylan.
In what league?
Moderator league.
Oh, yeah.
Blonde, I think she's used up all her chips now. Or she's got bench boost left. I think she definitely played bench boost this week, yeah. So she's got no chips left. Same as Dread. Dread's got no chips left. You've got no chips left. I don't think Harbour Boy's got chips left. And the fact that these guys use their chips this week and they've done well, but the fact that I've caught them and now got not a comfortable lead, but a lead in which I've got kind of similar players. Plus, they've got benching headaches, Jason. You were talking about that, weren't you, the last time you spoke? The fact that when you've got a really strong team, you don't know who to bench.
Yeah.
And the likes of Blonde, it's ridiculously difficult.
It is difficult. Obviously, it's a lottery who you choose. Generally, people tend to go for the fixtures when they've got so many top picks in their squad. It's one of those things that can backfire on you. There's nothing more frustrating than seeing 15 points sitting on your bench. But unfortunately, is it unfortunate? Is it unfortunate that we've got an FPL season where people have been able to build their squads up and have a strong bench? I don't know. Obviously, it's part and parcel of having a strong team, having benching dilemmas. So, yeah, a strategy that can be employed with the fact that you can get away with a cheap midfield. The likes of Salah, and the days of KDB, Sterling as being an option in midfield, obviously no longer exist now. They're not priorities in your team, and I'd argue that you don't need Trent and Robertson in your team anymore, and you can free that money up and spread it around. So yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to. I mean, to be honest, I'm glad that you identified that we've got 7 players in our teams that are different. So maybe there is hope that things, if they do go my way, there is hope that I may be able to. I mean, it's a bit of an ask, but there's a possibility that I could turn it around. But it would involve probably me captaining a few differentials. I don't think if we kept the same captain between now and the end of the season that I can catch it. But who's going to go against Haaland? Let's be honest. Who's going to go against Haaland?
Well, John Harris is saying there. It is worth going against this week. I just think you're mad. I just think John's saying that this could be the week to go differential on Haaland. You're fucking nuts.
Max Roberts donated £2 through Super Chat. Well, there you go. That's our revenue for this month. Thank you so much, Max. Much appreciate that. And John Harris has become another month of membership. Here we go for John. One of our oldest supporters of the channel, of course, John. Great to see the boys back together live streaming. Thank you so much, John. I hope you're well, man. I hope you and your family are good. Looking forward to the coronation weekend. Are you hope you're going to be spending it with your friends and family and doing something nice, as well as watching a bit of the football here, here and there. Are you going to be watching the coronation, Steve-O?
I'll be at work with people panicking about what milk to be buying.
Well, you got milk. Steve-O tweeted a picture of his warehouse or back room, storeroom, whatever you want to call it, full of pasteurized and semi-skimmed and whatever you want to call it. I don't have that problem because I have oat milk. I either have oat milk or soy milk. Okay, oat milk or soy milk, you can pretty much keep it as long as you want. Stick it in the cupboard; it'll last for months and months and months. I love oat milk in my coffee. I don't mind soy milk in my cereal. I recommend it. Anyone that's currently on a high dairy diet, I would recommend just having a bit of oat milk every now and again in your coffee. It's not that bad, honestly, and it's a healthy alternative. I'm trying to become more healthy, cutting sugar out of my diet. Sugar, I think is causing a lot of my issues recently. I'm convinced it's sugar, but that's a story for another day. No sound, really? Is there no sound? Are you guys hearing us okay?
No, it's fine. It's fine.
What goes in first between milk and cereal, says FPL Maestro? Cereal goes in first, and then milk goes in first before the hot water on a coffee. So if you use the special fancy coffees that you can get, like the El Cafes from Aldi, you can get the ones that the fancy ones, not the granules, but the really fine ground coffee. You can get the Nescafe version. I can't remember the name of it now, but it's got like an orange top to it. But anyway, I digress. Milk goes in first for coffee. Cereal goes in first for cereal. That's how I do things anyway. What sort of psychopath puts the milk in first? What, for cereal? Yeah, it's a bit weird. But is cereal a soup, Steve-O?
Say that again.
Whoa, what's going on here, man?
So I was just checking the sound. Go on, what were you saying?
Yeah. What's is cereal a soup? What are we
Soup.
What are we
What
even
talking about? I don't care.
What-
Let's talk about fantasy football, for God's sake. I don't give a shit about cereal and what
okay.
goes in first. I want to talk about the mini leagues and genuinely like the fact that you got someone called Harry FPL Tips.
Oh,
100
yeah,
in the world.
yeah.
It's ludicrous. And me and you are in this battle, 30 points between us, and how you're going to catch me. Genuinely, like our teams, like you said, we got 6 players, 7 players different, but of those players, only Gakpo, Trippier, and Ben White concern me. The others I couldn't care less about. Maybe Tyrone Mings. But again, your team is
Tyrone Mings concerns you. Wow, what are the days, eh? When Tyrone Mings is the one concerning option.
But again, you've got bench headaches.
Do I though? I haven't even set my team up for next week. Do you want to let's quickly have a look? So I've got. Well, obviously I'm going to be playing Raya or Pickford. Raya away at Liverpool, or Pickford away at Brighton. You know what? Save points. I think Raya is probably going to get me more save points.
Yeah.
Trippier, I don't want to play at home to Arsenal, but he's got that. He's on set pieces, attacking threat. Oh, you know what? Mings coming in for Trippier. Estepinian at home to Everton, yeah, that's good. Stones at home to Leeds. De Bruyne at home to, obviously, Leeds. Salah, Matoma, Gakpo, Rashford, Haaland, Isaac, that's the team.
Yes.
That's the team, yeah. And I'm going to captain, guess I'm going to captain Steve-O. Shall I be brave and captain someone different? I'm going to captain Salah.
There's only one player that I would captain ahead of. Yeah, you've named him. It's Salah. But Leeds are terrible and Brentford are pretty good, is what I will say.
Yeah, the thing is, it's obvious that the Man City captain, isn't it, with the Leeds at home fixture. But are we going to get rotation? Are we going to see Haaland reduce minutes? I don't think so. KDB could be a good alternative, yeah. But Steve-O's got him anyway, so it doesn't matter.
He's not starting. You will not be starting.
I saw Karma Baby in the chat. Hello, Karma Baby. I'm gonna watching us, listening to us in the shower. That's too much information. Oat milk and soy milk is not healthy, Jason. Too much pesticides in them. No, it depends what brands you buy. Milk has to go in first for coffee, else you burn it. Yeah, I agree. Potter. Hello, Amanda. I wanted to talk about soup. Karma Baby, I've said hello to you already. Lost Guy, I got Mings, watch him score a 14-pointer again. Neil Message says, I eat 4 to 6 scoops worth of whey protein and a half a litre of milk every day. Do you need to have milk? Or could you substitute it for a non-dairy alternative? I mean, I'm not saying cut dairy out. Listen, I'm not saying cut dairy out of your diet completely. I still enjoy cakes. I still enjoy, I don't know, stuff with dairy in, but just not teas, coffees, cereals. I even make pancakes with soy milk and oat milk. So there you go. What are we talking about? Yeah, so that's my team going into this week. Have we got anyone in the Discord?
Well, I was going to say, why don't you just go through the mini leagues and
okay, fine.
See what's going on there.
Wait,
it's going to be quite tight.
Are we going to have an order to the show? Okay. Okay, cool. Okay, so let's quickly just talk about the YouTube chat league then. So we've got Seb Long at the top of the YouTube chat league. His current points. He's had a game week score of 107 points. Notable mentions in his team: Salah, 18 points. Captain Haaland, of course. Harry Kane getting him 8 points with Rashford and Shaw. A solid 107 points. It's crazy, isn't it, that he's so high up that 107 points is not enough to get you a green arrow. It's actually got him a red arrow. It's dropped down a little bit. He's actually
how tight it is though.
35,000 overall. Yeah, very
Look
tight.
How tight that league is, Jace. That's ludicrous.
Well, yeah. So John Harris, who's in the chat, John Harris is second place. He's literally, was it 5 points? 5 points behind Seb. So it's really, and he had an amazing score, John Harris, 123 points. Brilliant. McAllister in midfielder, 12 points. Estepinian, Isaac, Salah. Obviously, everyone pretty much apart from March getting him a decent score there. So congratulations on that. Then we've got Mark Byrne. Mark Byrne's rising up as well in third place. He got himself 126 points. Literally, when you talk about how tight it is, he's also 5 points. He's joint second, 5 points behind Seb. Oh my god! And then you got fourth, which is like 7 points behind top. Fourth place, Matthew Eziashi, and fifth place is 7 points behind Brendan Saunders. Oh my god! Anyone could win this league. Anyone in the top. I would say anyone in the top 7 or 8. I think maybe Willie is a bit far behind, but I think Maestro 7th place, top 7, be fighting for that top spot. Maestro, he's just shy of that 2300 mark. So yeah, it's all to play for really in that YouTube chat league. So exciting stuff. Then we've got, the community league is full of people I don't know, so we'll gloss over that. The members league, Harry Daniels. Can we just talk, do we talk enough about FPL tips, or are we just sick of talking about how good he's doing?
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's amazing.
115 points.
214th in the world.
It's just ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. He also had Shaw in his team. He would have been hoping for a clean sheet for Man United last night. He had Edison, an unfortunate pick. Obviously, Ortega played the second game, didn't he? No one saw that coming. No one saw that coming. The experts out there, Harry, you listening?
Is he
actually? Is he? Oh, he is in the chat. Oh, he's in the chat. Yeah, I mean, it's harsh, really, but you know what? I think you can live with that. I think you can live with 115 points, and he's still got a green arrow. He's still got a green arrow. So the likes of others that are flying high got over 100 points. They got a slight red arrow. The fact that you got a green arrow is quite good, especially at that 214. You'd be hoping to break into the top 100, I'm sure, and beyond. So very, very, very good. Rivals League, Nasu 7, top of that, 125 points, 2050. That's another league that's joint top actually. Marios and Nasu are both on 2358 points. It's yeah. The Rivals League is there's a big rivalry there. And John Harris is sneaking up as well. He's 52 points behind, but that's again it's not beyond the realms of possibility. Both him and Mark, I mean, they're sneaking up. 52 points could be done. 125 points from Nasu. Everyone's got pretty much a similar team. Steel in goal. In that 6-0 win against Wolves and the 1-0 win over Man United, 15-pointer from Steele. McAllister, Steele, Fernandes, Haaland, Salah, all coming through for him. Alexander-Arnold, all double-digit point hauls coming through. Doesn't mind taking a -4 when you get 125 points. A Green Arrow, of course, taking him up to 5,900 in the world. Very, very, very good to Nasu, which is very good indeed. So yeah, I think let's quickly have a look at Marius' team. Very similar. Very similar. He's also got Steele in goal. He's got Mahrez though. Mahrez, well, I say similar. He's not really. He's got Mahrez and Alvarez. What do you think of that, having Mahrez and Alvarez?
I think it's brilliant. That's the kind of differentials that you want to be going for.
That's brave. That's brave. What did you think? Did I embarrass myself in the Man City stream when I said that I thought that Alvarez had the characteristics and the style of an early Aguero-esque player? Or
no, not really. I know exactly where you were coming from.
Because a few people in the chat were like, "Hang on a minute, how can you compare? There's no comparison." I wasn't saying that he's going to score as many as Aguero. I'm saying the style of play, the low centre of gravity, the way that the mannerisms in the game. If you watch the way he plays, it reminds me of a Sergio Aguero. But I don't want to jinx the lad, of course. But you look to comparisons, don't you? You look to make comparisons with players that you see when you see them play. That reminds me of an Eden Hazard or a Van Persie or an Alan Shearer. There's a lot about Harry Kane. That reminds me about Alan Shearer, for example.
If I didn't have 3 City this week, for argument's sake, I would be really tempted to bring him in.
Well, Alvarez.
I'd be really tempted to bring if I didn't have 3 City, but I already do. So yeah. I'd be tempted to bring him in for another striker, but that's the way it is. But Marius certainly is ahead on that little not bandwagon, is it? But certainly on the head of the curve, shall we say. And I think Alvarez is going to do very well tomorrow. I think the likes of Mahrez are going to do quite well as well.
Thank you,
Haaland's
Nevo.
going to probably get, a couple of goals in that, you'd like to think.
Oh, yeah. Andre D comes into the chat saying, why the hell are we talking about milk? Absolutely no idea. We like to go on tangents on this channel. Giving some serious consideration to starting the use of human milk. What? Neil Message says, giving some serious consideration to starting to use human milk. I'm convinced based on no research or evidence that it's the best. Okay, well, I'm glad I read that one out. Where are you going to get it from? Is that a thing? I don't even know. Anyone seen the Black Cat, says Andre D. What Black Cat? João Pedro to Brighton confirmed. Brighton have been doing some incredible transfers, haven't they?
Yeah, they're going to be doing very well.
Are they going to hold on to? Are they going to hold on to the likes of? Oh my God, what's his name? Scored the penalty. No, scored the penalty.
McAllister.
Yeah, McAllister.
Yeah, I think they're going to keep the majority of their squad there. I don't see why they would leave. There's no need for them to leave. I think that they'll be fine sticking around, playing for a quite clearly a coach that likes to play attacking football. Again, that game last night could have ended. It reminded me of the Everton versus Leicester game, just end to end, but just no end product. Ironically, in the Leicester game, they did have end product.
Brighton are one of those teams now that you see them and you watch them play and you just think they can go head to head with anyone in the Premier League. Yeah. And of course, have they got? Let's quickly look at the fixtures. I'm pretty sure they've got Arsenal, haven't they? They've got Arsenal on the 14th of May away, and they've got Newcastle. That'll be a game, That'll be a one hell of a game. And they've got Newcastle on the 18th of May.
There'll be 2 very good games. 2 very good games, end to end. No messing about. Because Brighton are chasing that European spot.
Oh, and they got Villa on the last day of the season. That's a game.
But even in game week 37, they've got Man City.
They do. They've got some tough games. They've got some very tough games, haven't they?
In fact, I didn't realise that Man United had a double game week in 37 as well. Wow.
Yeah, keep hold of you Man United players for that one. Away at Bournemouth, another away game.
It is still crazy to think that there's only a total of 4 game weeks to go, including 2 double game weeks.
Yeah.
35, 36, 37, 38, and 2 double game weeks in between that. It's nuts, and like with your team, you've already got 3 Man City. You only got the 1 Man United player
at the moment. Yes. Yeah.
2 Newcastle, 2 Brighton.
Yeah.
Are you going to be trying to triple up on these teams?
I'm going to roll the transfer this week, and then have 2 transfers going into that ahead of game week 37. Obviously, I'll see what happens. To be honest, I might have to react to some other issues in my team. Who, me? Yeah. Yeah. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I think again, it might be a case of going a bit bold with my picks, and instead of doubling up on Man United defenders, maybe I'll get an extra midfielder in, or just kind of differentiate from you instead of just going in for the double defense.
But the thing for you is that in game week 37, you've already got the 3 City, and getting in a Man United midfielder, i.e. Fernandes, is going to be very difficult, because who are you going to get rid of? Gakpo? Well, you still need to find 2.5 million or whatever it is.
So you let me worry about that, Steve-O. You let me worry. I'm not going to... I'll cross that bridge when it comes to it. I mean, like I said, I'm going to have to do stuff that's going to be radical in order to, kind of surprise, and I've got nothing to lose now. I've got absolutely nothing to lose, so I'm just going to go for it, to be honest with you. I think it's the let me just refresh this, because I think it's the not the actual. Talk to the chat. What are the chat saying, Steve-O?
Steve-O, are you going to AEW in Wembley? Yep. Desagra to Inter Milan in the summer. Yeah, don't worry about any of that rubbish. Keep Fernandes, guys. Yep. John Harris asking, Harry, are you going to be playing it safe for the rest of the season and consolidate a top 1,000 finish, or are you tempted to take a high-risk strategy and go for top spot? I say go for top spot. To hell with it. Max Roberts saying, are you going to have any Burnley assets for your team next season? Yep. Probably. If their fixtures are decent, I will go with Zawari. Zawari is absolutely phenomenal. Harry's just saying, yep, I'll probably play it safe for the next 2 and then see where I am with 2 to play. What have you been doing in the last couple of months since you've been gone, Jason? Work. Yeah,
it's been. I will do a video talking about it. There's a lot of things happened over a short period of time, which took a lot of mental toll on my well-being, along with attention away from doing video content. It's I'm glad to say that it's calmed down a little bit now, and ultimately I can get back into the swing of things, and it feels like oh my god, Steve, stupid thing. It feels like I'm getting slowly back into the swing of things. So next season, I say next year, in a few months, next season, expect fresh new graphics, expect new styles and content ideas, and certainly a facelift of our channel. So that'll be interesting and exciting to sort out with a bit of time over the summer. What have you been doing? Fernandes has been brilliant lately. Yeah. I don't think McAllister goes to Liverpool. I don't think De Zerbi wants to. I don't think he wants to leave. Why would he? He's building a project at Brighton. Like, why would he want to leave? Money, I guess. Money. But Okay, so are we going to do predictions with the caller?
Yeah, I believe Nuclear Atoms is in there at the moment.
Patiently waiting.
10 points ahead of me.
Let's get dragging him in. Hello, Nuclear Atoms. How you doing, buddy?
He's listening on the replay.
Wow. Mr. Atoms, please turn off the stream. Hello to you. Can you hear us?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, you excited for next game week?
There's not much going on.
Okay, right. You're gonna need to. Right, if you're listening to me, you need to sort your phone out or your microphone out, because for me that was painful to listen to. It sounds like you're on the other side of the room or something. So, let us know in the chat when you're ready to be drawn back in, because that ain't gonna fly. Unfortunately,
his team is incredible. 3-5-2 formation he has. It's very similar to yours.
Where do I quickly see him?
He's where is it? In the Rivals League. He is, in fact, in the YouTube chat league. He just had him. He's like 20th, something like that. Where is he here? He's 16th in the YouTube chat.
I got him. Yeah, I got him. I'll bring him up now.
Just above Karma Baby and just above me.
Yeah, I see.
The team is outstanding.
Yes, good team. Similar to me. Well,
it's just the Edison pick.
He's got apart from his back line. He's got his midfield. His midfield. I don't have March. I don't have Bueno. Well, he's obviously had to play him, but I don't have Dallo. I don't have Trent. I don't have Edison. But midfield and attack are very similar to mine.
Yeah. And the fact that he'll be probably playing this 3-5-2 this week, having Edison in goal is just, in my opinion, a waste of funds. In my opinion, I mean, how much is Edison? 6 million.
5,
I believe.
5.
5.4.
5.4.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that Iverson got more points, 3 points sat on the bench, the Leicester goalkeeper, says it all. I'm not.
Not value in Edison then.
No. I think there's better. I understand why you'd have Edison. He's the safe.
Very unlucky. It's unlucky. It's unlucky not to get the second game. To be honest, to be fair.
Yeah.
Not that it would have possibly made the difference in the outcome of the scoreline, because they did concede, didn't they? So, would Edison have saved it? You know.
Nuclear Atom said he's ready now.
Okay, let's try again, shall we? Nuclear Atoms. 3, 2, 1. Mr. Atoms. Hello.
Hello. Is it better now?
That's a bit better now, yeah. It's much better. Well, it turns out if you talk into the microphone, it's better. We're just looking at your team. We're quite admiring your team. 113 points this week. Sitting 16th, I think, is it in the moderator? Not moderator. Sorry, the chat league, and 194,000 overall. Are you happy with your season?
Kinda. I think I could have done way better. I think I've been a bit unlucky with a lot of the things going on this season. It's been a bit frustrating, but I think I'm getting there. I've always played the end game well. I mean, that's what I keep on relying on every time. Like the finish, I can have a bad start, but the finish has to be good. And if the finish is good, then I'm happy.
Same as me.
About 113 points with a free hit. So yeah, I've seen bigger scores this week as well. I think the De Bruyne thing really killed me this week.
Yeah.
De Bruyne not playing twice, and freaking Bueno coming on from the bench for -1. -1 point from the bench, and Ederson isn't doing anything at all. He's been even more dreadful than usual. Not only he just got 1 point, but he didn't even play the next game. Like, who the hell predicted that to happen?
Why didn't you just go all in on Man City attack rather than going with a defensive? Or if any defensive asset, I would have been bringing in Stones. I wouldn't have been touching Edison with a barge pole. Why the goalkeeper? It's because your mate Harry brought him in.
No, I didn't have the room for a lot of Man City attackers, and I was too unsure of who's gonna play twice, who's gonna get the points. Because in Man City, the points are spread out. The only one who gets all the points is Haaland. So what's the point of like tripling up on them?
Because I think that the two teams that they had to play against were West Ham and whoever else it was.
Yeah, but it's always a lottery with them. Like, you never know who's gonna get the big.
I don't know. I think that going all in on the Man City attack is worth it rather than going with the goalkeeper. I think I would have been. Sorry, I should be saying going with outfield players. I think anybody doing a free hit should have gone with the 3 Man City outfield players. I think there's more upside to the attacking than there is from the defensive assets, personally. Because John Stones can even pop up with the odd goal or assist. He was very unlucky, actually, against West Ham, to be fair. I mean, Jason obviously watched the game and everything, and there were moments where I was like, Jesus. Came close. And I think Stones is a brilliant asset to have, and he's another player that worries me in Jason's team, John Stones. But is this your last chip, then, that you played?
Yeah, that I'm all out. That was my last chip, just like yours.
Yeah, and obviously, like you said, you got 116 points, whatever it was, and you're only 10 points clear of me. What made you go with the lot, by the way?
The lot because I couldn't get Shaw, and also I thought he's gonna get more bonus points than Shaw will, because I've seen people say in the stat that he does things that suits the bonus point system. So he's a bonus point magnet also.
Well, actually, your team this week: Solanke, Hall and Watkins, Salah, Rashford, Martinelli, Mark, Shah, Trent, Trippier, Kepa. You've also got Matoma and White. How are you playing it this week, then? I'm assuming it's going to be... Oh. Yeah, what are you going to be doing this week? Do you know?
Yeah, that's the team I've put up, like the final team, but without the transfers.
Oh, you've put it up in the thing, have you? In the
Yeah, the screenshot that I will, and it's gonna depend on the Man City league lineups. Hopefully, we get some. My plan is, like, Man City is gonna rotate a lot this weekend, and I have to get a Man City attacker. But the thing is, I'm planning on getting Foden if he starts, because he's been getting minutes little by little, but he's also been getting points for. Even though he plays 7 minutes, he gets an assist. Even though he plays like 30 minutes last week, he got a goal. Like, he's ticking along. If he gets like 45 minutes, I think he could do some real damage against Leeds. We just had Sam Allardyce as the manager, and he's gonna take time to settle in. Sam Allardyce's team works on defense, but the Leeds team doesn't suit his style. And Man City is at home, and they always run riot at home. So it's either going to be Foden if he starts, or if he doesn't, then hopefully Alvarez starts and he comes in for Watkins, and I bench either Martinelli or Mitoma.
You got 2.2 in the bank. I didn't realise that.
Yeah.
Didn't realise that at all. Who would you be getting rid of? Sorry, Watkins or Mitoma?
No, the plan is if Foden starts, then I'm getting rid of Martinelli for Foden. And if Foden doesn't start, and if I see at least Alvarez starting, then I'm getting rid of Watkins for Alvarez, because Watkins in the future games doesn't have that many good fixtures, and he's dropping off a little bit. Villa has dropping off a little bit. They don't have nothing to play for anymore, so they're on the beach. And
I disagree with that. I think Unai Emery is going to be wanting to get literally the highest position possible in the league. And if I look here at the table right now, once it loads up,
he can try, but I just think that the other teams around him have more things to play for. Like they're in a solid
Villa's not on the
position.
beach. They're nowhere near on the beach.
The teams
But
on the
they-
beach are going to be Tottenham, Brentford, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Wolves at a push.
Chelsea.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
They've been on the beach. They've been on the beach all year, haven't they?
Southampton, they're on the beach. They're not going to be getting out of any of this.
They're not getting off the beach.
They're not getting off. Yeah, exactly. They're not getting off the beach. Precisely, Jace. So Aston Villa are going to be wanting to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. However,
What about Watkins though? He's not doing he used to do. Like he had that purple patch, and now for the last 2 or 3 weeks he hasn't done anything.
well, let's look at the what do we call it? The fixtures that he's had. Away at Man United, well, no one does anything at Old Trafford. Fulham at home.
I just need to jump a second out. I'll be right back.
Fulham are very good. They're pretty a solid enough team. Brentford away, admittedly, that was a bit of a surprise result. 1-1. I was expecting to be a lot more goals, but prior to that, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest, Leicester, Chelsea, like you said, Bournemouth. He was scoring goals for fun. I think that who's he playing this week? Wolves. Don't get me wrong. I think getting rid of Watkins, yeah, fine, go for it, because Wolves away is not going to be easy.
It saves money, and I can buy someone else in the midfield, I guess, for when Mitoma Mitoma's not also doing the stuff he's been doing previously. Even though he looks dangerous whenever he gets the ball, he's just not getting the points. I could buy another City attack in the midfield if I get rid of Watkins. I'll have enough cash to get someone like Morris or someone. Or wait, I forgot. There's Newcastle have a double in 36. Then I can get in a Wilson for Solanke. I can do that.
Yeah, he's certainly an option for me. Wilson is, but I think going without is Alvarez pretty much nailed for the rest of the season, or do you think it's just for the time being?
No, he's not nailed at all.
No. Just
so Gundogan's going to want to play. Foden's going to want to play.
Right. It's just going to depend on the UCL run, right? If Man City beat us in the Champions League, then expect Alvarez to play more minutes. Otherwise, he's not going to get enough minutes. Even though he's so good, he shouldn't be in the bench. Pep will still put him on the bench.
I'm confident that Real Madrid, do beat Man City or get through at least. Are you confident?
Really?
Yeah.
For the first leg, not much because we're missing Militao. Militao is suspended for the first leg, and he was my real hope of reducing the damage against Ireland.
My prediction is Man City going to win the Champions League.
You think they're going to win the treble? Treble that you guys won in 1999?
I think that they've got the best team in the world. I think they're the strongest. They've got the strongest squad in the world, in my opinion. They can rotate at will and still put out AAA performances. They've got it in their hands. I honestly think that they've got as better chance as any this year to win the Champions League.
Oh yeah, this year, yeah.
I'm hoping I'm going to jinx them.
Don't you think that? Yeah. Oh, well, don't you think Man United will kind of keep it tight against Manchester City at the final? Because finals always.
We're gonna get spanked. We're gonna get spanked against City. I'm afraid we haven't got. We may defend okay. We may defend well, but we've got no cutting edge in midfield or attack. In my opinion, we are weak. Man City will control possession for the majority of the game. We'll try and get them on the counter attack with the likes of Rashford and Antony around on the wings, but I don't see it happening. I don't see us getting anything out of that. I think we're likely going to get give away a cheap goal, and then it'll be a floodgate situation where we try to chase the game and we end up getting punished. That's how I see it going down. Personally, I don't hold up any hope against. To be honest, last night going into the Brighton game away, I didn't hold much hope for that. To be honest, I didn't think that we were going to get a win out of that. I thought we were going to get a draw. I thought it was going to be maybe 1-1. probably could have been 1-1 last night, but unfortunately, don't have much faith with everything at the moment. With the look, I look at the bench at United, and I think that's like a mid-table push bench, really. All no disrespect to Weghorst, but he's not a Premier League player in my opinion.
Scorer.
He's not a Premier League player. I think he maybe would do a lot better in the Championship or something, or another league somewhere else. I don't know.
He was doing well at Bundesliga. He came on loan from the Bundesliga.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's, you know, I think that I think ultimately it all comes down to squad, and if you're going to win a treble, you need to have a very strong squad that's going to be interchangeable and that can make impact substitutions. And Man City tick all the boxes. Unfortunately, money talks, right? There you go.
Like,
but yeah.
Oh my god! And in case of us, like, Militao was suspended. He was my best hope at keeping Haaland quiet. Rudiger, he's fast, he's strong, but I don't think he lacks the ability to stop a freak like Haaland. Like, Haaland also has the height, the pace, more than Rudiger as well, and he's a clinical finisher. Oh man! But the first leg is at the Bernabeu, so I'm clinging on to some hope.
That's
of
advantage
history
to City. No,
the home advantage.
I think the first leg being at Bilbao is an advantage to City, because having that second leg at home is amazing. I think if Haaland's going to cause problems in that game. I don't think City are going to go into that game worried.
But
could be wrong.
I would say that we are the only team in Europe that away fans, like, doesn't matter to us. Like, our players can block off the sounds of the away. We don't care. We just feed off the energy of.
Oh yeah. You support.
We just keep on, like, for.
You're breaking up a little bit. Is he breaking up for you as well, Steve-O?
What's necessary, keeping it tight, keeping the pace into our hands. We slow the tempo. They have tasted Champions League victory. None of that City
going on a
team
bit of a
has
tangent.
tasted any Champions League victory, and
it's
just gonna have that mental.
I understand that. I understand, dude. I think you're miles behind. I think you're lagging a little bit here. But I think ultimately it all comes down to, does that Man City team feel intimidation to Real Madrid because they've not won the Champions League in the past? I don't know. There's obviously going to be a mental aspect to the game. Of course there is. I think ability-wise, the Man City team edge it for me. They've got a much stronger squad. Much stronger attacking 11 in my personal opinion, but the mentality, 100% agree with you. If Man City lose over the two legs, it'll be down to a mentality issue, in my personal opinion. And I think that it'll be a good game to watch. It'll be a really good game to watch. I want to see that some questions in the chat. Would you rather have Ronaldo or Weghorst up front at the moment, Jason? At the moment, well, Ronaldo obviously came with issues, didn't it? So he caused a rift an apparent rift in the dressing room. He was obviously not happy, and I think Ten Hag and him, the dynamic there, where you've got a manager that wants to instill discipline, and you've got a player that wants to be treated differently. Let's be honest, he does want to be treated differently. He's a world famous, great of football, therefore with that comes an ego, and with that also comes special privileges, which I'd imagine he expects from a team, and I'm sure he's getting that right now. So I think it's one of those where
he's actually want to leave Al Nassr now.
Less of the devil you know. I think that Ronaldo leaving United was a win-win for both parties, and never forget what he did for the club. I just felt that his time was up, and after that interview, it was obvious that he didn't want to be part of it anymore. But yeah, Weghorst, because at least he shows passion, and he kind of, he's almost like a fan. I know he's so passionate and so motivated, but unfortunately he's just not fast enough and not able to get. It's frustrating to watch Veghorst, because if you watch him, he actually makes the runs, he actually does the movements that you would expect from a good striker, but he's just not fast enough to get on the end of passes. He's not fast enough to get that yard, that yard of space away from the defender to actually get a clean chance. He may get a half chance, he may get a sloppy chance, but he's not fast enough to get that yard of space between him and the defender to get the shot off. And unfortunately, that's not going to change. Top level football, defenders, they're not going to give you that space unless you're dynamic and quick. And for someone as high as Veghorst, you'd expect him to win more headers, and you'd expect him to score more goals from his head, and he doesn't do that. I wouldn't say that it's an aerial threat that his height would dictate. So it's a bit of a disappointment, really, from that aspect. But anyway, enough of that. Enough of Man United. Score predictions for Man City. We're going to get to them now. Should we get straight into the score predictions, Steve?
Yeah, let's go for it. I was going to just a quick one, really. So with your team, you're probably
my
going to be
team,
rolling.
my great team.
You're probably going to be rolling like me this week.
Yes, yeah. I have absolutely no
any
intention.
transfer thoughts whatsoever like I have, or are you just thinking it's not worth it?
Not worth it. Not with that United double coming up. I need those. I need to. My team's fine. My team's fine.
So Stones clean sheet, Estepinian clean sheet, Mings.
Don't jinx me, Steve-O. I know your game. Well,
I got virtually the same players as you.
Yeah,
Toma.
You did the same thing with us in the freaking live stream. Like, oh, Man City, it's a clean sheet, and then immediately Fulham scored.
Hang on a minute. I had loads of people whining at me in the live stream chat, going, Haaland's a fail, blah blah blah. What, he's not doing anything, and even Steve was moaning.
Well, you did.
Even you were moaning like half time. It was like, Haaland's had a quiet game. He's not
was going towards a 1-0.
This is going to be a 0-0.
Like that. And, a beautiful pass by Grealish eventually opened up, but they need Kevin De Bruyne for the likes of Haaland.
Excuse me, it was the pass for Grealish was good, but the finish from Haaland was more exquisite in my opinion. That little dink over the top was
that's
beautiful.
What you'd expect from a player of his, the highest of high qualities. But I was hoping against West Ham, he'd be getting more, especially at Man City's ground. West Ham had nothing to
Well,
give.
Leeds at home could be one of those where he has a bit of fun.
If Kevin De Bruyne plays, I think, genuinely, if Kevin De Bruyne starts, I think that game's ending up 5 or 6. If he doesn't, 2-0, 3-0. I don't think it's going to be much different to the West Ham, which is on, by the way, do you know why it's on Sky, Jace? Do you know why it's on Sky?
What are you talking about now, the 3 o'clock?
The Man City Leeds game. Do you know why it's on Sky?
Why?
Because the game was originally supposed to be on Sunday, but because they got to the Champions League and everything, they want to basically allow people to be able to watch this game anyway. So it's something to do with their contractual rights or some bollocks like that.
But I okay. Well, there we go. One, obviously the blackout. Here. Yeah. You're going to be following the Bournemouth, Chelsea, the Man City, Leeds.
Yeah.
And the Spurs Palace game, yeah.
Yeah, all the games covered here.
Hello, Dawson. Mr. Dawson's in the chat. Alex Dawson. We got. Are we not talking about last week's score predictions? Cough, cough. 13 out of 13 correct results, says Colm.
What?
Colm in the chat saying you got 13 out of 13 correct.
Wow, it's a shame you didn't do an accumulator because you would have made quite literally millions of pounds. 13 out of 13 outcomes.
Maybe he did, and maybe he's sitting on his yacht right now. You never know. Subscribe, yeah. Subscribe to the channel. Let's talk about these predictions then. Shall we go into this week's Saturday afternoon? We kick off with the 4 games at 3 o'clock. Bournemouth versus Chelsea. Bournemouth, who I couldn't care about. Where are Bournemouth in the league?
13.
They are, I think, safe from relegation now.
So you've got Bournemouth that are safe from relegation versus a team that is safe from relegation. yeah. Could this be any more boring? Are Chelsea going to turn up for this game, Steve-O? I mean, 12th place versus 13th place.
It's an horrific fixture to call. Chelsea can't score, whereas Bournemouth at home aren't that great.
Well, Bournemouth, 4 wins in the last 5 games. Chelsea, 4 losses in the last 5 games. 4 losses, 1 draw, last 5 games. Bournemouth, you know, they beat Leicester 1-0. They beat Tottenham 3-2. They lost to West Ham, which was a bit of a 4-0 battering actually. Then they had a 1-0 win over Southampton and a 4-1 convincing win over Leeds just last week. So Chelsea, I think for me, Bournemouth being the home team, I'm going to go with Bournemouth to win 1-0.
Yeah, I've got it as a 2-1 to Bournemouth.
People in the chat agreeing with you.
Honestly, Bournemouth are terrible at home. Like, they're really bad, and it actually suggests...
What, terrible enough to score 2 goals?
Yeah. Yeah, they beat Leeds, who are absolutely abysmal. But prior to that, they lost 4-0 to West Ham. They lost 2-0 to Brighton.
They
They only just beat Fulham 2-1. They beat Liverpool 1-0. And they lost to Man City 4-1.
They beat Tottenham 3-2.
Yeah, their place. I'm talking at home only. At home.
Oh, right, at home only, yeah.
So, I've gone 2-1 to Bournemouth because if they go for it, but I've just found out Tavernier's not going to be playing one of their most creative players. So
they are conceding more than they score, obviously, but
yeah, probably 0-0, 1-1. I've gone 2-1 Bournemouth.
You're not going to go 1-0?
No, I'm not going to go 1-0. No.
Okay, 0-0.
Chelsea will score.
0-0, 1-1. Okay.
What are you thinking, Nuclear? No, good. I'll just do a quick of history. Bearing in mind the history has done really, really well over the last 3 weeks. Bournemouth have only lost 3 times against Chelsea across the last 6. But they've also won 2 and drawn 1. So actually Chelsea are a team which they don't actually mind playing. So it could be Bournemouth to maybe come our way with this with a minimum of a point. Then of course
Bournemouth have to win, and Chelsea are dog water after 1 win. I can't believe we faced them in the quarterfinals of the Champions League.
Why do Bournemouth have to win?
Are rubbish. Because it's humiliating to lose to Chelsea nowadays. Man, their road to 40 points continues still. Lampard will get that 007 thing that we're all talking about. Like 0 wins, 0 draws, only L's every single time. No way.
Well, it's a sad state of affairs, isn't it, at the moment for Chelsea? What went wrong? Tuchel, in my opinion, they shouldn't have got rid of Tuchel.
If it weren't for Tuchel's 10 points, they would have been on the relegation.
It just goes to show you can't throw money at something and make it stick. I mean, it's good. It's good in a way because it means that whole thing that just because you've got money, you can start competing for top 4 titles and things like that. It's not necessarily the case. You've got to have the infrastructure there. You've got to have the management. You've got to have the coaching staff. You've got to have the people in the club that are pulling the strings. Just throwing money at a situation, it's not enough. And it's see what happens. So what's your prediction, Nuclear, for this one?
God, who's gonna score for Chelsea? They can't score. They can't defend. They can't do anything.
1-0.
I'll still go 2-1. Like I predict Bournemouth winning this. That's why I benched Kepler. I just don't see them.
FPL Maestro Colm in the chat. He's doing very good with his score prediction. Self-proclaimed. He's agreeing with you 2-1. Okay, we move on to the Manchester City Leeds game, the most popular game of the game week for captaincy. We've got the likes of KDB, Mahrez, will Foden play. John Stones, obviously Erling Haaland will be the most captained player going into this game week. I'm going to go with a 4-1. I think that Leeds may just get a goal back. I'm pretty pessimistic. What's your thoughts, Steve-O?
6-0.
6-0.
If Man City decide to turn up, and honestly, if Kevin De Bruyne plays, I think it's going to be one of those where we're going to look at it and go, with hindsight, I wish, well, you especially, it will be, I friggin' wish I'd just captain Kevin De Bruyne.
I love the way you held back from swearing then. I love it. Thank you. Maybe the algorithm will be nice to us today. Who knows? We've actually gone an hour and 4 minutes, an hour and 5 minutes without swearing. So if we can make it to the end of this stream without swearing, it would be amazing. And maybe we can see if the performance is any better. Who knows? It'd be interesting.
No, you know it.
Jason Steele for the goalkeeper to the end of the season. I kind of agree with that. It's not a bad shout. Yes, not cheap and reliable. FPL Maestro saying 8-0. Alex Dawson said 4-0.
Are you putting that in the score predictor game, Maestro?
Tom saying 5-0. 4-5.
Yeah, like I say, I honestly think this could be potentially an absolute hammering. Really could be an absolute battering, and any triple captainers out there, anybody with the chip left, this could be a brilliant time to be doing it on Haaland, because I keep saying this. When a double game week player doesn't seem to do what we expect, it's the following game, whether it's the Champions League, the FA Cup, the Premier League, they seem to get something. So you watch Haaland now get a hat-trick against Leeds and maybe an assist in this 6-0 win. And it's going to be like, oh, why now? But yeah, the history's going with you, Jace, 4-0. 3 times Man City have 1-0, 2 of them being 4-0. So yeah, Man City do like to play Leeds, Jace. Nuclear Atoms, any thoughts on this game?
It's going to be, I think, 4-1. If they play Ederson, they'll concede 1 goal at least. Ederson can't save it. And yeah, it's going to be a battering, just like you said. I don't see any hope for Leeds. I think Leeds are getting relegated. The fixtures are tough. They aren't doing well. Sam Allardyce came too late to implement his philosophy.
Maybe. Leicester are teetering on the edge as well. Of course, they're also on 30 points.
But Leicester actually got out of the bottom 3 last game.
They've won and drew the last 2 games. Leicester, which has got them the points needed to get out, but they're not clear. They're certainly there at risk. 1 point ahead of Everton in 19th, of course, joint with Nottingham Forest and Leeds with 30 points. It's a big few weeks for Leicester, obviously, and West Ham as well. I mean, they're still at risk. You'd like to think that they'll be okay with their fixtures. They've got Man United next, but West Ham could certainly be going into the last few weeks at risk of falling down into that bottom 3. It all depends, really. Do you see Nottingham Forest able to kind of get the necessary points? I mean, they got the win, didn't they, against Brighton?
They're beating Southampton.
No, yeah. That's a gimme, really, isn't it? Everton are useless as well. They've got Brighton, so you'd think they're going to drop points. Everton will drop points. Southampton will drop points. Nottingham Forest may be able to get up. So who knows? We could be looking at West Ham teetering on the edge of dropping into that bottom 3. I think it'll be Southampton, Everton, and Leeds that go down. However, it's close. It's close. It's scarily close for a lot of those teams down there at the moment. All to play for. Okay. So moving on, Spurs at home to Crystal Palace. Tottenham Hotspur. What's going on there? They seem to be all over the place. Have they got? I'm just looking at where they're 7th in the table. They've surely got to go for it, right? To try and improve their league position. They're not going to get. They're not going to get. They're not going to get to top 4, but you know.
Them, Aston Villa, Brentford, those 3 teams, they're all trying to get that 6th European spot.
Yeah. Well, we say that Brighton's got 2 games in hand.
Yeah, good point.
So it's gonna take a lot to dethrone Brighton in that 6th place, and obviously Liverpool are just a little bit further up. So, it's for me, Brighton have got a chance to finish above Liverpool, haven't they, if they win their 2 games? So yeah, your thoughts on this one? Spurs at home to Crystal Palace. Let's get Nuclear Atom's point of view first, shall we?
I actually expect a very high-scoring game, to be honest, because Palace are actually scoring goals, and Roy Hodgson is doing his usual tactic or defend for your lives. No, you just actually let them loose. And Spurs can't defend as well. Their defenders are lackluster at best. I expect 3-3 goals all around. Yeah, 3-3. Harry Kane show. Kane dropping deep. Son is gonna get some support from Kane now. He did get a goal last week. He's looking kind of good. And Palace will run right on that Spurs defense. I don't trust that Spurs defense at all. They have so many errors on their hands. Like, ball bounces off one of their defenders. They make a mistake. They just get run over. That Liverpool game was prime example of how quickly they can capitulate.
Yeah, I mean, just to go against that, Crystal Palace are terrible away from home. They've beat their 2 relegation rivals, scoring 7 goals. That was 2-0 against Southampton and 5-1 against Leeds. Barring that, they've lost 2-0 to Wolves, 4-1 to Arsenal, 1-0 to Brighton, 1-0 to Aston Villa, and they're playing a team who are very good at home, and the history is backing them as well. The history saying 4-1 to Tottenham. The last 3, though, a team has won to 0. And Spurs have only lost once in the last 6 against Tottenham. They've won 3, drawn 2, lost 1. I'm personally thinking that Tottenham are going to win this 3-0, 3-1. I've written down here 3-2, mainly because Tottenham's defence is terrible. Yeah, I expect Tottenham to win this okay. Especially just to get back to some form of winning ways, and the fact that they are at home, they should be getting past Crystal Palace. Jace, I know you can't stand Tottenham.
What makes you say that? What makes you say I can't stand Tottenham?
Every time we talk Tottenham, it's
never a win. I never win. Yeah, I never predict that they win, do I? Let's be honest.
Yes.
But today's different. I'm going to go with a Tottenham win. I'm going to go with a 2-0 win to Tottenham. I don't think they're going to concede.
Yeah, that's back in the history.
Dude, are you just trying to make Harry Kane happy so that he can join Man United or something?
I see. I don't know if I'm alone on this, but I don't really want Harry. I know it sounds bad, but we're going to pay quite a lot of money for Harry Kane, over 100 million, right? And how old is he now? How old is Harry Kane? Is he 30, 31?
Yeah, like 28.
No, he's not.
He's 27, 28.
No, he freaking isn't.
No way, man.
He's not.
30,
Harry, he's 30 pretty much. He's 30 in July, so he'd be 30. He's 30 going into next season. Okay, you're spending over 100 million for a player that's got about 3-4 years left in him, if you're lucky.
But he's English as well, and he knows the Premier League, and he can.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. But it's going to be on high wages. It's going to be over 100. It's going to be 120 million or something stupid like that, probably. I don't know.
But the other option is Osimhen from Napoli. He's going to cost a lot as well.
Yeah, but he's younger.
But I think he's going to cost even more than.
No, he won't cost more
Harry
money.
Kane, perhaps.
He will not cost more than Harry Kane. No way.
But they're just one Serie A.
Tottenham are not going to let Harry Kane go for less than 100 million, and there's no way Osimhen's going to cost more than 100 million. Shouldn't do anyway.
So you think Osimhen would cost 80 million?
Yeah, 80 to 90 million, I would say.
Well, the difference isn't that bad though. Isn't it better? Harry Kane suits the system more.
It depends if you're building a long-term project or whether you're looking to buy like a tried and tested striker in the Premier League that's going to give you 2-3 seasons. I mean, 2 seasons of probably top form, and then you're going to start to see a regression. 33 to onwards. Really, I think Harry Kane's played a lot of football, I don't know if I don't think he's gonna go into his late 30s, being a Premier League superstar striker. So
He's
yeah, I don't know.
targeting that Alan Shearer record, I think.
Yeah. I mean, he's to be fair to Harry Kane, he's gone through his career with, I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong, but he's not had any serious injuries. Like, he's been pretty good when it comes to injuries. He tends to play every game as well, 90 minutes, doesn't he? He's played a lot of football, Harry Kane, and I think that that's great in the sense that he's been injury free. However, because he's played so much football, I do think that he's gonna get to a point of 33, 34, and he's gonna start having problems with his body. Personally, you can't play that amount of football, and not start to see it catch up with you. Unfortunately, I mean, I think we will sign him. To be honest, I think Ten Hag wants Harry Kane. I don't think
he just suits United, doesn't he? He's English. When was the last time United had a great English striker as well? Yeah, it was a long time ago, though. He's the next. He could be the next Rooney, and
Danny Welbeck.
Yeah.
Danny Welbeck.
Oh my God, man! Did he actually work for you guys?
Teddy Sheringham.
Man, when was that? I don't think I wasn't even born.
And sort of the 99, 2001.
Yeah, I wasn't even born back then. Born in 2002.
Anyway, we've got off a bit of topic here. So we'll go to Wolves versus Aston Villa. Is there anything in the history that says about Spurs at all, Steve? You want to add?
There's basically the last 3 games have ended to 0, and Spurs have only lost 1.
Hang on, the last 3 games have ended what?
Have ended to 0. So between these 3, I think it was something like 4-0, 3-0, and 3-0,
right,
something like that. To Tottenham and Crystal Palace, respectively. So yeah,
okay.
Tottenham like to play them.
Wolves host Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa are one of these not underdog, but a team that are surging upwards. I think they're going in the right direction to Emery, looking really good. I think they got enough. It's Steve. Well, I think we'll let Steve go with this one. What's your thoughts on Wolves at home to Villa? I'm interested.
Wolves are excellent at home. Aston Villa are excellent away from home. I think they cancel each other out with either a 0-0 or a 1-1. Obviously, a clean sheet favours you, Jace, massively with Tyrone Mings playing. And I do think Aston Villa can get a clean sheet. Like I said, I can see this game being 0-0, 1-1, 1-0 to Aston Villa, maybe even 2-0 to Aston Villa.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone 1-1. The history is in favour of Aston Villa. It's gone 2-1 to Aston Villa, and despite there being 3 clean sheets across the last 6,
2-1's a good. Yeah.
And the last 3 games, though, both teams have scored, but the home team have only won once across the last 6. So again, it all favours Aston Villa.
2-1 to Aston Villa. Is that what you're thinking?
No, I've gone 1-1. The history saying
wow, 1-1. Okay, I'm going to go 2-1 to Villa. Alex Dawson saying 1-0 Villa. We've got Maestro saying 2-0 Villa. Wolves, 2-0 Villa again from Calm. Nuclear Atoms, what do you think?
I'm going to predict 1-1 as well. I don't see Wolves winning, but I can see a bit of a comeback for Wolves. Like, they need to bounce back after that horrible defeat against Brighton. Lopetegui, he's a strict Spanish coach. It wasn't that long ago, he was voted for FIFA's best coach of the year. He was among the top 5 when Zidane was around at Real Madrid. And yeah, I see a 1-1. Just because they're at home, I see a goal from Wolves, but I don't see them winning though. It's a stretch. I'm predict 1-1.
I'm changing my prediction, Jay. So I'm going 1-0, maybe 2-0 Aston Villa. I think Aston Villa win it. Because Wolves at home don't draw games, basically. They've drawn 2 all season.
Well, okay.
And Aston Villa are very good away from home.
Let's get through these predictions because my wife's just told me that my dinner's ready. So, Liverpool, Brentford. Brentford.
Yeah. 3-1 Liverpool. I think this could be potentially the highest scoring game of the game week. And I think, honestly, Salah could be a really, really, really good captaincy option, legitimately.
What was your prediction?
3-1 to Liverpool.
3-1.
Maybe even 4-1.
Wow, okay. What makes you think Brentford are going to let in so many goals?
Because they're on the beach. They've not been performing well of late. And I just think that Liverpool...
They don't want to... Do you not think that they want to try and fight for that 6th place? I mean, they're only 5 points behind.
They do, but I just think that of late, like I say, their results have been absolutely pants, especially away from home yesterday.
A 2-0 win against Chelsea and a 2-1
who
win.
Who doesn't lose? Who doesn't beat Chelsea? But they lost to Wolves 2-0. They lost to Man United 1-0. They drew 3-3 with Brighton. They beat a terrible Southampton team 2-0, and they beat... they lost to Everton 1-0. So
they lost to Wolves, didn't they? At home. Away. They drew at Villa, which was a big game, of course. They're off the back of 2 wins. I mean, I don't know. Maybe.
Those 2 wins were, like I say, it's Chelsea and Nottingham Forest. 2 of the worst teams.
It was a late winner, wasn't it? For was it Tony?
Very late. Liverpool are going to batter them.
Right.
Liverpool are just a different machine at Anfield. Completely different machine at Anfield. I think it's going to be a lot of fun, this game.
Okay, I'm not going to go as generous as you. I'm going to go 2-0 to Liverpool.
Let's just put it this way, Jace, genuinely, and I fear me saying this. I'd captain, if I'm in your shoes, I'm captaining Salah.
Okay, thanks for that. Trying to throw me off the scent. You look here. Like, it looks like you're in on the old TVs, from back in the 80s. Not in the 80s.
I don't know what's
the
going
90s.
on.
It's a connection issue. It says on the It says here. It says on the.
Static.
It says here, video packet loss indicator or video preview. Green is good, red is bad. Flame implies that CPU is overloaded. May not reflect the packet loss scene by scene. So it says your CPU. Or packet loss was coming through, but anyway, it doesn't matter. We've lived long enough to this stream to not care too much about it. Anyway, is your laptop hot by any chance? Feel your laptop? Is it boiling hot?
No, not at all. No.
Okay. Right, we'll move on to Sunday's games. Oh no, nuclear atoms.
I was going to go for 3-2 to Liverpool. I think it's going to be 2-2, and then Liverpool's just going to score a late
3-2.
Yeah,
wow.
It's going to be a fun game.
So that could be one of the most entertaining games of the game week then?
Well, the history is suggesting that, because in 3 games, 15 goals have been scored. And on 4 occasions, a team has scored 3, including a 3-3. All it's been is, I think it's been 3-3, 3-0, 3-1.
Okay.
In these fixtures. So, yeah, it's could be profitable for Salah. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Tony might blank, but Steve-O's best mate, Mboimo, might score again.
Well, I owned Mboimo a few weeks ago. He scores after I get him out. Newcastle versus Arsenal, Sunday afternoon, 4:30 on Sky Sports. Big game, massive. Is it relevant now? Are Arsenal still fighting for that top spot? Or do you think it's too late now for Arsenal? They dropped too many points and City are going to run away with it.
No, I think Arsenal are still in it. I think Arsenal still can keep it.
Well, mathematically they can.
Man City, because I really do see potentially Man City dropping points against Everton.
Really?
Because they're away at Everton. For some reason,
against Dyche's Everton.
Yeah, I'm being serious. I think there's a very small chance that Man City could drop points against Everton after winning against Real Madrid.
Well, Arsenal have got haven't they got tough fixtures between now and the end of the season?
Including this one.
No. I mean, seriously, they've got seriously tough fixtures, haven't they? They've got Brighton after this game. Then they've got well, I would say Nottingham Forest away. By that point, Forest could be down, couldn't they?
No, they won't be. It would be just too tight down there to be.
Well,
down.
yeah. I mean, that's a hard game because that's fighting for survival, isn't it? So, you've got Newcastle coming up. You've got so away at Newcastle, which is going to be a good game to watch. I think that could be an entertaining game. Then you've got Brighton at home, which is going to be a good game to watch. Nottingham Forest that are fighting to survive against. Away.
Could beat them.
3 points, you'd think. And then Wolves on the final game week.
I think they get 9 points.
And what do you think City are going to get? So the City have got Leeds, that's 3 points. Everton, that's 3. I think they're going to beat them. Chelsea. It sounds weird, but I think at the games, I think Chelsea could be the bogey team. I know it sounds crazy because they've been rubbish.
I think personally, it's Brighton and Brentford.
Brighton, Chelsea, Brentford. I mean, could you imagine if you go into the final game week and it's level on points?
So if I'm predicting Man City to get, Arsenal to get 9 points in the last 4, Man City I'd expect to get 9 to 12. Well, 9 points minimum. So they've already got 3 points against Leeds. They've got 3 points against Everton, guaranteed. They'll have 3 points. That'll
be enough for them to win it because they're 1 point ahead. Of
that's
Arsenal.
right. Yeah, and funny enough, I mentioned this on a Total Stevo podcast, which are like 8 weeks behind for the wrestling stuff. And I was speaking to someone. I was talking about Man City, and I said that I have a feeling that, and this would have been recorded back in what?
The best thing to happen, very quickly, the best thing to happen for the Premier League right now would be Man City to draw against Leeds. And happening.
Yeah, because I said in this podcast that, which was done in February time, that early April, is that this could be the season like with Liverpool and Man City, where Liverpool missed out by 1 point or something. I think it'll be the same for Arsenal. I think if Arsenal just, absolutely go for it, they could get 12 points in the next 4, and Man City get 15. And literally win the title by 3 points, 2 points. There'd be nothing in it. That's how tight it's going to be. But certainly this game against Newcastle is horrific for Arsenal.
Yeah, it's a tough game. It is a tough game. I'm going to go with. From an Arsenal point of view, I understand. I feel for the fans because the fans, they've seen Arsenal top of the league for so long, and then now Man City have just suddenly started to find their feet and just climbing now top. I feel for the Arsenal fans. I think it would be dreamland if Arsenal was to get a win and City were to drop points at Leeds. Do I see it happening? My head says no. The poetic, fun side of things, it would be brilliant. I'm gonna go with a 2-1 win to Newcastle on this, purely because they're home team and they're I think Isaac could do something in this one for me. I really do. And I think if they do that, I think Newcastle beat Arsenal, and I think Man City beat Leeds. I think that's Arsenal then resigning to the fact they're going to finish second, and they possibly that's it. I mean, it's going to be interesting, Steve-O. What's your thoughts on this scoreline?
I've gone Newcastle to win 2-1, but honestly 2-1, 3-1, 3-2. I think it'll be a high-scoring game again. Unless
Odegaard comes up with something crazy and drags them through.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, the history is on Arsenal's favour. There's been 4 2-0s across the last 6, 3 of them for Arsenal. 4 times in the last 6, Arsenal have won to 0, and there's been a clean sheet in every single game, including obviously the last time these two played, it ended 0-0. So there's a high chance of a clean sheet in this, and it's looking likely to be an Arsenal win on that behalf.
Nuclear Atoms, what's your thoughts on this game? Must-win game for Arsenal.
I had so much hope for Arsenal to actually win the league. As an outsider, it was boring to see Man City win it every single week, every single year. I'm going to go with 2-2. I didn't see Arsenal winning. Maybe they could grab a point. If they were at home, maybe it could have been a 3-2 win to Arsenal.
I mean, the Newcastle fans are just ridiculous, aren't they?
Yeah,
what they
Newcastle
do.
Newcastle had that problem with not scoring goals, but they could defend. Now they're scoring goals, and
Yeah.
Arsenal losing like both of their main centre backs, Saliba and Gabriel. Yeah, it's gonna
Yeah.
floodgates gonna be open.
They'll be vulnerable
They
for
got that
sure.
new. Yeah, they got
We need
that
to get
new
through
guy.
we need to get through these predictions. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, let's get to
West Ham, Man United. I'm going to go with a. I'm going to go with 0-0.
I'll take that.
Yeah,
I'll
0-0.
take that.
Yeah. United can't score, and I think they can defend West Ham enough to keep it 0-0.
Yeah, I agree. I like the sound logic to that. I've gone 2-1 to United, but honestly, if West Ham were to get 1-1, even 1-0 to West Ham, I wouldn't be shocked, because at home, once again, West Ham are actually pretty good, and Man United away from home are absolutely terrible. So actually, thinking logically, it's probably going to end up being 1-1, something like that. I can't see, unfortunately, Man United keeping a clean sheet in this, as much as I'd love that.
I think Shaw and Lindelof proved that they can defend once again very good, and I think Antonio and his friends aren't going to have that many clear chances against De Gea. I just see 0-0 painted over this. Nuclear Ams?
I'm gonna go with 1-1. I can see Bowen and Paqueta combining to get that one goal out of from United, and they need to get points on the board. Like, they're on the relegation battle. They're gonna show some fight in their home fixture.
Yeah.
So I think they're gonna do everything they can to get at least 1 point from this fixture.
Well, the history is suggesting 1-0 to Man United. There's been 4 1-0s across this fixture across the last 6. 3 of them for Man United. So this is going to be a horrible tight game. So 0-0, 1-1, or 1-0 either way. I've personally gone 2-1 to Man United, but hey. Fulham Leicester, Jace.
Well, this is the Leicester game, which they need. Obviously, they are fighting to keep away from that dreaded bottom of 3. I'm going to go with Leicester to win this game purely because they are backs to the wall right now, and I think Maddison's. I think when I watched Leicester, who were they playing?
Everton.
Yeah, that was it. Leicester Everton. I kind of thought Leicester had a lot about them. I know Everton's not been great this season, but I think they're good enough to get something out of this game. Fulham are also doing very well. 10th place, maybe they're on the beach, as you say, Steve-O, and they could drop some points here. I'm going to go with Leicester to win 2-1.
Yeah, it's their favourite scoreline. And actually, the last 4 games at home for Fulham have been terrible, lost 3 and won 1. I'm personally thinking Fulham can nick this 2-1, but honestly, I agree. 2-1 to Leicester wouldn't surprise me. The history is going 2-1 to Leicester. The away team have won 4 out of the last 6, and although there have been lots of goals across the last 6, the last 2, the away team has won to 0. So Leicester could be getting a clean sheet here. Newcrams, do you expect a clean sheet for Leicester?
I do, actually. I don't see who's gonna score from Fulham. I'm gonna predict 2-0. Like, they got someone named Vinicius. He's not Vinicius Junior. He's Carlos Vinicius. Yeah. he's just strong. That's it. Like, he doesn't have an end product. He doesn't do anything for Fulham. He's a really, really bad downgrade from Mitrovic.
Yeah. When's Mitrovic back? Isn't he back?
He's not. He's banned, isn't he?
He's banned. He's banned for the whole season. For the whole season.
How many games did he have?
It was an 8-game ban, I think it was. I think
8 or 10 game ban, I think.
8 games.
10 was it?
Okay. No, 10 game ban.
It was 8 games.
8 games.
It says here on Sky Sports, 8-game ban.
Oh man, but he's supposed to be out for the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many games has he served?
How many games did Fulham play? 5 or something? 5 or 4?
Yeah, because it was against Man United, wasn't it?
Oh no, he's back on the 13th. He's back on the 13th of May. FPL website saying suspended until the 13th of May, so he'll be eligible on next weekends. Not this weekend, but next.
But
weekend.
it was reported that he's out till the rest of the season. Does he have any injuries as well?
No, suspended until the 13th of May. He's missed 6 games. What? Yeah, he's missed 6 games. He must have had a cup. Did they have a cup game or something?
No, they were out of the cup match, right?
So
he knocked them out.
I'm just trying to think where he's eating up all of these. So maybe he's not back on the. Maybe he's banned on that game week as well. Then, but he has a chance. He has a chance to play. He has a chance to play before the end of the season, I believe. So
maybe he might not be match fit.
He might be back 37 in that case. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It's Fulham. Who cares? No one's going to get Mitrovic anyway. Have we all predicted Fulham Leicester?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. 2-0 to Leicester.
Brighton Everton. Brighton to win this one 2-0. 2-0 Brighton. Matoma and Danny Welbeck. No, Matoma and Solly March. Steve?
Yeah, I've gone 2-0 to Brighton as well. The history, though, is going 4-2 to Brighton. There's been lots of goals scored across the last 19. 2 times a team has scored 4. In fact, on 6 occasions across the last 6, a team has scored 2 or more. And to be honest with you, Everton's away form has had a lot of 2-2 draws. I think they've had 3 2-2 draws in the last 6 away from home. So honestly, 2-2 wouldn't surprise me, Jace, because they're fighting for their lives. Nuclear Rams?
I'd say 2-1 to Brighton. I can see Everton scoring 1 goal. Yeah, I don't have Estupinan on my team. I just realized it. I just brought him in for the free hit. I don't have him permanently.
Yeah.
I have Mitoma and March. Maybe they could do something.
And then finally, we got Nottingham Forest versus Southampton. A game to cherish. Everyone will be spending their evening on Monday night watching that one, I'm sure.
Probably the easiest game to call other than the Man City game. I'm going 2-1, Jace, to Nottingham Forest. Southampton always seem to score, but they can't keep clean sheets, and Nottingham Forest are normally pretty good at home.
1-0 Nottingham Forest.
You're going 1-0. Well, the history's going 3-1 to Nottingham Forest, despite Southampton winning 2, and on those occasions scoring 3 goals. Forest have won 3 out of 5.
Mark back saying quickly, Steve-O, what bets would you have in these weekend's games?
Just go with the usual fantasy bets, the popular picks. I know I'm stating the obvious, but I've done extremely well over the last few weeks, just literally backing fantasy assets, and it's come through like a dream. So I'd be going with.
Steve-O, we'll touch up on that.
If an outside bet, but maybe if you hear Phil Foden is starting versus Man City, definitely put 50p on him for definite to be getting a goal or assist. You'll only get 40p back, but a win's a win.
Yeah. Nuclear Atoms.
I'll say, oh man, this game is dire. 2-1 Forest. Forest are conceding goals, but I think they'll win.
That's an important game for them to win, of course. Brilliant. That's great. Massive thank you to Nuclear Atoms for joining us today on the call-in. Sorry I'm going to have to cut this short, but my food's going cold, and I don't like reheating it in the microwave. So, Steve-O, I have to say, it's been great to be back doing a stream together. Thank you to everyone in the... Thank you, everyone in the chat. Yes, weird having the control not in your hands anymore.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone that's joined us today. And if you're watching it on the replay, please hit the like button. Hit the like button anyway, helps us out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new around these parts. Become a member and get some access to some of the extra content if you wish. On that note, look after yourselves.
Make sure you tune in tomorrow.
Tomorrow for Steve-O's 3 o'clock. I'll try. I'm going to go out walking, I think, and just out of old time's sake, go for a walk and listening to those games with you, Steve-O. Goodbye. Good evening. Enjoy your weekend. If you're enjoying the bank holiday weekend, spend some time with your friends and family. Tell someone you care about them. And thank you again, Nico Adams. Final word. You got any final advice to give to people this weekend, Nico Adams?
Thanks for having me, and just try to enjoy the games, I guess, because we don't have much time left for FPL.
Absolutely.
We just enjoy the weekends. FPL for me is just enjoying the weekends and something to look forward.
Well, what new grams you normally?
I want to go, Steve-O!
What? Just a quick one. What normally happens on Saturdays, Nuclear?
Nil. First half, if it doesn't do anything, then in the second half we'll get a lot of
That's
action
the one.
going
That's
on.
it. That's the rule. That's the rule.
Right, Steve-O, wave goodbye to everybody. I'm going to need to get out of here.
Yep, let's go.
As you say, I've got to get out of here. I've got to get gone. See you later. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye,
He's waving.
everyone.
Bye.
I saw you